Because I am a juvenile, mildly autistic loser with no friends and no job and no future, and I forget what I was going for. Animals, that's right. We know them, we live with them, we shoot them, we eat them, we wear their skins. Some of us share a primal love with them. Aberdeen fans, as the old joke up here goes. In the UK in particular, there is a creepy, anime-esque need to anthropomorphise them, as if these mindless creatures are just like you and I, even though your sweaty, unpleasant commitment to the man-bun of nonsense that is veganism would mean nothing to a hungry animal. We tend to associate personalities and character types to various animals. In that vein, I will compare certain types of person to the stock animal archetypes that best suit their behaviours. Like an RPG character screen, except you don't get to make any of the choices and there's no reward for taking part. Are you a boring dullard with the imagination and creativity of a bricklayer's wife? The kind of person who thinks childbirth is a miracle and not a gooey, disgusting, horrible, nightmarish, but technically everyday occurrence? Do you consider personal hygiene more of a holiday event than a daily obligation? If so, you may be a dog. You may be less interesting than a vegan accountant doing a talk at the local bingle hall about advances in cement mixing, but at least Keanu Reeves will always look after you. Or more accurately, avenge you after you've been killed very early in the story. Are you a misrepresented, tortured soul cast as a social pariah because of other people's ill-informed views, a person who's never been given a fair shot in life? Do you always strive to be all that you can be despite your many, many flaws? Do you have no limbs? Because you might be a snake. Are you a hateful, antisocial loser, the kind of vapid, curmudgeonly, vaginal discharge smear of a person who despises happiness and joy, who plots the downfall of the human race, who secretly plans to drop spoonfuls of your own bodily waste into donation boxes for children's charities? Then of course you must be a cat. Are you a depressed, self-loathing box of slippers who has given up on life, who has no interest in going to school or having a bath, let alone achieving the state of coitus with a living creature? You are obviously a panda. The goddamn fucking stupid ass, jived punk sucker full ass bitches, man. Those stupid ass pandas in Edinburgh Zoo are being paid to fuck. That's why they are here. I have started and ended 2 long-term relationships since those fat idiots came over here. I've had more handjobs during Colin Firth movies at the cinema than they've had children. The existence of your entire species is at stake, you fat mess. Get her pumped. They can only mate for like 1 week a year, but the guy is too busy spending 16 hours sleeping and eating sticks. What the fuck's going on, man?
This isn't some species that was obliterated by deforestation or the building of a dam. Dinosaurs had their shot, and nature selected them for extinction.
Are you a brainless eggplant of a person? The kind of person who takes the Fast and Furious franchise super seriously to the point that you actually believed it was ever about family and completely forgot that Dom was sort of the bad guy in the first movie and that Paul What's-His-Face wasn't actually a particularly good actor, and if you think the phrase "I live my life a quarter mile at a time" actually makes sense when it was clearly written by some kind of self-aware calculator. Did you watch that scene in the cinema with Dom launching himself off his cart at Latino girlfriend women and didn't instantly get up and walk out of the cinema, stopping only to spew insensitive insults about the parentage and sexual activities of the staff working the popcorn machine? If so, you, my uneducated peasant of a friend, are clearly a fish. Did you think I was going to say sheep? No, sheep are the quiet, dignified gentlefolk of the farm world. Plus, fish are stupid. Are you the kind of person who thinks, quote-unquote, bonding with your workmates means, getting confused as to why they won't respond to your stained dark green jumper, your unwashed beard covered with chicken giblets, or your constant emails about how you like to squeeze your balls under your desk whilst you angrily stare at them from across the room? Is Rohypnol a legitimate mixing ingredient for your recipes? Are you literally any famous American man in Hollywood? Because you are clearly a rat, because no one likes you. Not women walking through a car park at night, not the mafia, not cleaners, not health and safety officers, and not the Empire. Fucking no one. Are you vertically challenged? The kind of person who was used as a drinks tray during your school years, who wears Cuban heels constantly? Do you perhaps live in a old shoe or boot? Does the mere existence of tall people, or normal people as they're known to everyone else, make you angry? Do women pick you up with a single hand and then laugh and put you in a breast pocket in the manner of a handkerchief jauntily draped into a southern dandy's top pocket before the debutante ball? Do you want to fight with everyone who makes a joke about you being small, or mentions your height, or wears a tie because you're too short to wear a normal tie? Are you short enough to be ignored by all women on Match.com, but not quite short enough to qualify for a disabled parking badge? If so, you must be a honey badger, because you are angry at life, and you want to fight more than a drunken Irish stereotype, a Protestant British soldier, a TV mafia guy who feels disrespected for some reason, and someone whose daughter you fingered behind a cinema, all locked in one room and forced to compete for the title of world's smallest penis whilst being fed a diet of couscous and plant stems. That kind of angry, you know what I'm saying? Do you go to the gym and behave like the entire place is yours and yours alone, stealing other people's benches, curling in the squat rack, drying your boy bag under the hand dryer, sweating everywhere and not wiping a goddamn thing? Do you drive an upmarket German car and assume that traffic laws are more guidelines than actual rules? Are you the exact kind of used tampon in the mail douche captain to go into the fridge at work and eat exactly half of someone else's lunch sandwich and then put back the offending article? Do you see a queue as a challenge rather than a social situation? You, sir, have the selfish manners and utter disregard for other people's time and property as a pigeon. Stop shitting on my goddamn car. Are you an absolute warlord of sexuality, easily conquering the fertile lands of other people's genitals? A person who is happy to share cakes at work, lets people pull out of awkward parking spots without screaming your head off because you've been delayed for 13 seconds? Do you help your friends get laid and loan them money without a vig? Drive a stylish but attainable motor vehicle? Always wash your hands when you use toilet facilities? Then you are any one of these socially acceptable cool animals. Hurrah! Hurrah! Do you live a life of quiet dignity and introspection? Are you a caring person that makes sacrifices willingly for the benefit of others, even if they don't know or care that you've done so? Do you have the soul of a poet, the bearing of a ballet dancer, the relaxing presence of an orgasm machine, the warming comfort of the post-orgasm cup of tea? You clearly are either a cow or a chicken. Noble creatures that give their lives so that we may live on. Godspeed, young warriors. Are you just an awful, awful piece of crap human? Then you're probably a chimpanzee. I know that's not very detailed, but seriously, I don't get why people like chimps. They're just hairy, awkward, weird-looking humans with creepy fingers. Humans that don't wipe after using the toilet, by the way. I actually had a lot more of these, but clearly you're not paying attention anymore. And for those people who aren't paying attention, you are obviously the very worst kind of person, wrapped in the blanket of selfishness, lying on the feather mattress of laziness in the gingerbread house of not giving me views. You are obviously the worst animal of them all. A man-sized otter.